Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is brought to you by the Friends in Recovery community, a thriving network of individuals who are fighting back against the stigma of addiction. Join our hosts as they speak up about the real issues of addiction, treatment, and recovery. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, here are your Friends in Recovery.
Welcome, everybody, to the Friends in Recovery podcast with Jersey Ed. And I'm your host, Jersey Ed. That sounds a little fucking corny, doesn't it? But along with my two co-hosts who are not corny, Buckeye Bambi, and today, Big Book Beth. Hello, ladies. We never know what we're going to get with Beth, right?
Nope.
We never know. So it's Big Book Beth today. Yep. So, and you're asking why, Bambi, you're asking why it's Big Book Beth today?
Why is it Big Book Beth today?
It is June and it's Big Book Month, ladies, here on Friends in Recovery podcast.
Happy Big Book Month to everyone. So
go grab your big books and stay tuned for some great, there it is.
Of course, leave it to Beth to remember to bring her big book over. Do I have my big book here? No. But I have Carl's book.
Carl's book. Yes, exactly. That's all that matters. And guys, of course, we need an intern without a bikini. No bikinis required. You said no bikini. So I want to state that out there that we do not want an intern with a bikini.
No.
Right? Okay.
No,
so if it's a guy, then we totally want bikini.
A mankini? You want a mankini?
No, a bikini. Just a regular bikini with a bikini.
Yeah. We're looking for an intern male with a bikini.
A bikini.
That's right.
Beth will have him working at her house.
Remember the interns are mine.
Oh, all right.
Bambi gets the intern.
Well, you ladies can pass that by your husbands and just let me how that works out.
The same as it would with your wife.
Exactly. So no bikinis, as I stated before, for an intern. Okay. All right, guys. So this week's show topic is just us. And as you can see, it's all going wrong already. We need that guest to kind of level us out. Beth, we even sucked Bambi into our world. She's with us now.
You couldn't exist for so long.
I know. So if you want to be a guest or you want to be an intern or you want to show us your bikinis, please send us an email at help@friendsinrecoverycommunity.org. help@friendsrecoverypodcast.com or give us a call and tell us about your bikini. It's 800-989-6504. And you can email each one of us. Here they are right there below us. And I would strongly suggest that you email Beth whatever you can as far as bikini pictures go to her email address below. And Beth will share that with all of us. So anyways, our website is friendsinrecoverycommunity.org. And what else? Look for us on all our social media. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and boom, send that little bell over. What is that, Bambi?
Subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Notification. So Carl puts that in, you'll see it sliding over here. 5-star review. And I think that's like old people stuff now, right? We don't give reviews anymore.
We don't on YouTube, but we do on other.
Okay.
Wherever you listen to your podcast, where they don't view us, but listen to us.
All right.
5-star review.
So listen to Bambi. But here it is. Don't listen to Bambi on the Purple Hearts. Okay. We need some hearts. We need some hearts.
For Purple Hearts.
So I think even if Beth and I got hearts till the end of the year and Bambi got none, I don't think we can even win this contest by the end of the year. I even think if we put all our hearts together, we couldn't even win.
No. So just like I quit, I
quit. Well, check that off the list. No more heart shit here. Anyways, Bambi purple hearts, Beth black hearts, and Jersey Ed, of course, blue hearts. There it is. There they are. Right there. And please ignore Bambi's purple. See, we talk so much about her purple hearts that everybody knows purple hearts more than I even forget what color my heart is half the time.
I only remember mine because it's accurate. I have a black heart.
No, it's not. Anyways, I'd like to thank all our donors who made this show possible. And don't forget, Friends in Recovery podcast is part of the FIRE network. For more information, go to friendsinrecoverycommunity.org. And guys, also our show runs on donations. So if you're out there and you want to make a donation, please get a hold of us. It's that time of year again that we're coming up upon donations, because we took this over about a year ago and we're looking for some donations. If you guys are interested, please just reach out to us.
But Ed,
yes.
What happens if they donate $35?
Oh, good thinking, Bambi. I like that segue. I don't know, Beth. I have no idea what does happen. Oh, okay. Wow. Look at that. You get a boob picture of Beth. No. Okay. That's not it.
Let's see if we can get the back of my shirt.
There you go. It is our new shirts, guys. There it is. Sober Life. Oh, you disappeared. Oh, no, you're not there. She's gone. There she is. Hold on. I'm going to turn off my screen thing, right? And I'm going to show everybody what the shirts look like, because Bambi did bring it up. So I am going to show everybody. I can figure out how to do this.
Well, what a way to donate to an amazing, your favorite not-for-profit organization.
There it is.
There it is,
baby.
Right.
Sober Life.
See that?
Rule 62.
There it is. There's the front of it. Let's just say this. Any donations over $35 will get you one of those shirts. Oh,
35 and over.
35 and over, guys.
Yep.
Right? So if you want to donate $1 million, we'll donate. If you donate $1 million, we can send you 3 shirts.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
I think so. We'll have a meeting on it just to decide. If you donate $1 million, I'll buy the factory for you. No, I'm just kidding. No, that was just a joke, guys. Anyways, so that's the new shirts that we are all wearing today. So if you can see them, we're all pretty in white today. And that's what we're doing. So email us, get a hold of Bambi, email her for these shirts. Bambi is in charge of that. They will not let me be in charge of sending out shirts.
No.
I can't even do a simple thing like sending out shirts, because they would probably end up somewhere in South Africa if I would probably guess.
Beth wouldn't have hers today. If you
Beth would not have hers today. No, absolutely not.
Thanks, Bambi.
All right, guys. Any sober shout outs today?
I
have a sober shout out.
Whoa. Holy cow.
Sober shout out.
Somebody go ahead. I don't care who.
Sober shout out is to Bambi, who is 4 days without vaping.
Yay. 4 days,
4 days,
Bambi.
baby.
No vaping.
No vaping.
How do you feel?
Good for you.
Oh, better than I thought I would.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I was only irritable and now I did buy a whole bunch of candy just in case. So suckers, dum-dums, Tootsie Pops, gummy worms, but I really only used them the first couple days. And now the last 2 days, I haven't been like candy obsessed or anything.
Wow.
So, Bambi, I have your husband, Matt, on the phone, and no, just kidding. Just like to disagree with any of that?
No, he would maybe say I was a little bitchier, but no, like when he almost overdosed our dog today by giving her more meds than after I'd already given him, he said, wow, you didn't even like yell and scream at me. So
see, there you go.
Yeah.
Did the dog manipulate him to get her more meds? Is that what happened? She
definitely wanted food, and she got food, and that's when she gets them. So they both have eaten double today.
That sounds like a diet. So that sounds like a dog that might have manipulated. Coming down the pipe. So no vaping for Bambi today. Yeah. That's great. You know, we're actually taking it slow today, guys, because it's just us, and you know we can do that. So yeah. So that's why we're messing around a little bit here. But I'm sorry, the sober shout outs. So no vaping, Bambi. Bambi, do you have any sober shout outs?
Yes. Today is 6 years for Clair, who is one of our hosts
Clair.
On Friends in Recovery, and she's got 6 years today.
Clair, congratulations, Clair. All right. And I don't think I have any sober shout outs. I don't think I do. I didn't even think about it. But I think what we could do right here, Bambi, and before that, don't forget about we have twice daily AA meetings. You can find them all on our website, friendsandrecoverycommunity.org, and click on the links and you'll be taken right to them. But we can read Carl's 366 fucking days sober. Yep. So Carl and Soberpod wrote a book called 366 fucking days sober. It's on Amazon. You can email us. We can get Carl at an email, or you can email Carl at info@soberpod.com.
And the link is in the description box.
Oh, the link is down there. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I put it in there.
Yep. In the show notes. So Bambi's going to read from it. Please, guys, this is an amazing book. It's not expensive at all. And I get a lot out of it since I had to pay for my copy. I didn't ask them to send me a copy. I didn't even get a signed copy. Maybe that'll come or whatever we'll say. But, but the, it's just an amazing book, and it's something I added into my morning routine. It really is. It takes 2 minutes to read the page. There's a lot of good wisdom in there. I didn't get to the masturbation page yet, but the pages are probably stuck together, so I'll have to. Just kidding. Anyways.
Okay, May 30th.
Nobody liked my joke. All right, no more masturbation jokes. We are still on Facebook Live.
Barely, by the skin of our teeth, we are.
Go ahead before I say something.
I was once asked if you could go back in time and tell your young self something using only 4 words, what would you tell yourself? My response: you're not that important. There isn't anything you are doing that someone else can't do, and there is someone who can always do it better. You are, in most cases, expendable. The company won't fold without you. The business won't go under. They will find a way to adapt, grow, learn, and possibly replace you. We like to think that we are wanted, needed. Who doesn't? But don't let that desire overcome your sense of self. You are another human among humans, a worker among workers. So watch your ego, check your head. Remember that this life and everything in it is on loan. You only get to use it for a short while, so treat it well. The reflection for today: do you let your ego get in the way? Does your overdeveloped sense of self cause you more harm than good? And your daily challenge is be a worker among workers today. And we should have used that for our question of the week. We could. I didn't read the question of the week yet. I mean, what would you tell yourself back in time? 4 words. But that's not a big book question. You asked specifically for a big book question. Well, it is, but that's a good question. 4 words, what would you tell your young self? I don't know. That's something I really have to think about. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to do it right on the spot because I'm not good at that, I got it. 4-word stuff. Go ahead. What is it? Don't drink, use sunscreen. Wow. Mine would be, don't get these wrinkles. Mine would be, don't drink, go to meetings. Well, if you don't drink, you don't need to go to meetings. Yeah, there you go. If you never pick up. That's it. Beth, your 4 words. Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't know what part of me to speak to other than you are enough.
Yeah. That's you. That's 3, but you are enough. You can use there. You're totally enough. Yes, you are totally enough. I don't think I had enough of coffee yet, but anyways, yes, you are totally enough. When I woke up this morning and I read that, I was kind of feeling a little like, because I had 3 days off and all that. And, my mind is constantly, I'm thinking about work, running, work. So then it says, I read the part, it says, you are expandable. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, is this a sign I'm getting fired today? Is this a fucking sign? Where my mind goes, right? So I'm like, oh, if I get fired today, wow, what can I do with my time? Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I'd be like, oh, good. I'm going to be in the garden, not thinking about my finances.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as much as Ed doubles my salary, I still make,
Hey, listen, we all made the money you make. We'd be broke too. Oh my God. But the other thing in there, and it kind of counterbalanced everything. It said, life is on loan, right? Why fucking worry about that shit? It kind of just took me out of it. Why worry about that? There's no time to worry about shit like that. So if it happens, it happens. But it is what it is, but it's not happening.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, like, I mean, I think a lot of it is age, but it's just like life's gonna go on. So I'm just gonna go and do my part so that I can go home. Like basically my entire goal when I leave them in the morning is to just go home again.
Mm-hmm.
So like this morning, I got my shit together, get out the door so I can come home. Like I ain't climbing into your business. I ain't climbing into your drama. Like
no, not at all. I agree with you. Yeah, it's not. I'm not going to climb into your head and sort it all out. And no, I'm not playing referee in somebody else's head.
I can't be of service. Like I only have so much energy. And if I want to be of service to others, I got to be careful. And
I agree.
I agree. Stupid energy. Way to go, Carl. Now I'm going to be thinking about this all day.
Yeah,
Thanks, Carl.
It's a good book, Carl. Y'all. Seriously.
Yeah, it is. That's that's just today's reading, and that's every single day. You got the challenge and what it's the other one, the reflection. Yeah. Every single day, guys. And then I was reading on there today, there's a little space left at the bottom of each page to take notes.
Oh my God. His book is right here.
There it is.
Wait, it says Kindle. I don't want Kindle.
Kindle.
Yeah, you got to get the other version. I sent you the link.
Red Hearts for All from Neil says, big book month. What about addiction?
I just ordered Carl's book.
All right. That's that easy, folks. You just seen it here on Friends in Recovery podcast.
Just did it.
Book ordered. You just made Carl's bank account.
And make sure you go in and give him a review on Amazon after you get the book. You can go in and review it, and it is a great book. So I gave him a 5. See, you can give him a 5-star review.
Yeah,
wow, it's going to be here by Thursday. Man, Amazon's crazy.
They print it, from what I was told.
What?
Yeah, I was told that when you order it, it's printed and it's delivered to you in 2 days.
No way!
I swear to God.
That's crazy.
Seriously?
Yes. Amazon has printing.
Oh my God, the Amazon, something just got delivered.
You want to go check? Is it your book?
I kid you not. That says delivered.
Mine pops up and says that every day on my phone. Matt's like, the Amazon guy's here again.
Oh, that's the bathroom sink parts that I ordered yesterday.
There you go. Bathroom sink.
I broke my sink. I like smashed it on accident.
Oh,
accident, huh?
Should we get into that part of the show?
Maybe we need to talk about anger today.
Yeah, is that
actually
anger?
we'll talk about my weight. I literally was like gonna hop up and then like change the light bulbs up ahead, and I hopped up and like the whole thing.
Wait a minute. We don't want to know about you and Dan on the sink, okay? The light bulb trick. I used that one before. Sinks are not made to take that kind of abuse, okay?
Oh, my God.
Beth is redder than her background right now. You don't know what I was talking about. I maybe he could have been holding your foot up so you can jump on the sink and go change the light bulb.
It's time for
Question of the week.
The question of the week. Beth gets out of it really quickly because of the question
about bathroom sinks, Ed?
I don't have any questions anymore about bathroom sinks. Oh God. All right, guys. The question of the week is, how does one clear away the wreckage of the past? How does one clear away the wreckage of the past? So that's a big book question. That's what I got out of it and where I got it and all that stuff. So Beth, what's your thoughts on how does one clear up the wreckage of the past?
Do steps 1 through 9.
1 through 9. Steps 1 through 9. Why?
Well, you really want me to do this?
Oh, why, huh? I just made that shit up.
Well, in step 1, you got to be powerless. And then 2, you got to admit that there's a power greater than yourself so that in 3, you can make a decision. Okay. And then you start writing in 4. And then in 5, you figure out all the shit that was behind the writing. And then in 6, you get sick and tired of who you are. And in 7, you ask God to bring you to a place where you can be who you need to be to carry out his will. And then in 8, you make a list of all the people that were on your 4th step and what you need to do and apologize And if the words but, because show up in those sentences, you just erase it and put a period. And then in 9, you go out and you fucking make face-to-face amends.
Wow. There it is.
And that's how you clean up the wreckage in your past.
Cleaning the wreckage up in the past in 30 seconds, guys. You can do it. You can do it in 30 seconds. I love this program. That's a good answer. And you're right. That's exactly how you do it. So, Bambi, what about your thoughts? You have to follow that now.
I know, right? Well, no, I agree with that, of course, and I think the making amends and stuff, I mean, that really does a lot. But then I think by working the program, you just become a better person in general. So you don't keep making those same mistakes as often, and you don't have to make amends over and over and over. I mean, you still have to make amends, and you still, I mean, your character defects don't always leave you. But I think just truly working the program, like your life depends on it, because our lives do depend on it, right? Jails, institutions, and death. That's what awaits us if we keep drinking. So I think, you become just a better person all around. And that's how you clear it up, by not continuing to have to clear it up.
That's true. So steps 1 through 9, working the program, right? That's basically what you're saying. Yep. And I think I need a big tow truck. I need a big AA tow truck, and then it would clean everything up. But no, I think, I would have to agree with Beth, no doubt about it, and Bambi working the program, but also leading by example. I was talking to somebody, and they said that, why can't they see that I changed, right? Why can't somebody see that I changed? Well, I mean, you have to change your attitude. You have to change your life. You have to change everything. And that doesn't take overnight. You know what I mean? And, but I think if we stay consistent, we keep doing what we're doing, work the program. That's, to me, clearing up the wreckage in my past. Even if somebody doesn't accept it, that's okay. I did the damage. I did what I had to do. And now I'm going to lead by example. Like you said, Beth, you go and make your amends and all that. But sometimes it doesn't happen, and I have to be okay with it if they're not going to accept my amends. So I guess I could say keeping my side of the street clean at all times, basically, and that's what step 9 anyways, I guess, it's kind of what it is when we apologize to everybody, keeping our side of the street clean. Can't worry about your side of the street. You have to figure that out for yourself. If you do want to accept it, if you do, if you want to help me clean up the wreckage of the past. If you don't, that's okay too. That's okay, because I understand where you're at, and that's cool. So that is my answer on that. And I hope everybody gets that. So we have some hearts and smile faces and thumbs up from, I guess, Neil. I guess it was Neil. Who's on? Anybody on with us?
Mary Ann's watching us now.
Mary Ann. Hello,
Neil and Mary Ann.
All right, guys. Hello, Facebook world. I don't think we said hello to everybody. All right, guys. So here it is. We've been talking about it. The big book. That was a big book question that we had, and I mean, basically, the whole show has been about the big book. So I don't want to say here's our topic, because we've been really talking about it. But Beth, I'm going to go to you with the big book questions. Not questions, but start us off with maybe some history about the big book, like. How did it start, or what, can we give us a little bit about, about the big book, because it's fascinating. A lot of stuff about the big book. You're rattling shit off before that. I was like, oh, save that for the show.
Big book's actually pretty cool. So it was actually originally put together for mail order sobriety. It was written for mail order sobriety. So you had your mega centers, and by mega centers, I mean, there was like 30 of us in Ohio and like 10 of us in New York. And Bill W. and Dr. Bob were like, we're not going to be around always. I don't know why they decide, I don't remember the conversation that they had of why they wrote the big book, but Bill Wilson wrote the book, and he wrote it up here in Newark, New Jersey.
Really? Okay.
Yep. And then he actually sent it back and forth. And I think it was the original 13 members, although I could be thinking the original 13 colonies, because that's how my brain works. But you can actually get a copy of the original manuscript That's like got all the notes and stuff on it. You can,
Really?
Yeah, you can also get a typed, like a printed book of the first manuscript. And it was written for mail order sobriety. So what's interesting was after the big book was published, Jack Alexander decided that he was going to write an article about AA. And anybody who doesn't know who Jack Alexander is, he was like the expose journalist back in the 30s.
Like the TMZ guys?
Yeah, he would literally go and he would go like into religious like cults and religions, and he would expose them. And that was his whole shtick. Like he would go in and he would expose them for what they really are. And when the article came out in the Saturday Evening Post about Alcoholics Anonymous, he was basically like, dude, this is the real deal.
Wow.
There's nothing to expose here. And the influx of letters and questions that World Service got was like insane. And everything happens for a reason, right? So that's how the AA really did get its start across the country.
Is by mail order.
By mail order. They mailed the big book. It was mail order sobriety. I mean, if you really look at how the first 164 pages are written, there's instructions. The first 164 pages are instructions on how to work the steps. It literally says, we write a list. Here we make inventory.
Yeah.
Next we launched, right? So it literally is an instruction manual.
Well, it's funny how you bring that up, and you know a lot about the big book. Was there only 164 pages in that first book that went out? I mean, was there stories in, because there couldn't have been too many stories in there.
There was 42 stories in the first book. I think it was 4. However many there are now, there was in the first edition. I can run to my other room and get I have a copy of the first edition.
I do too.
The new one that came out with like the red and yellow and black,
the
original colors.
Yeah. They gave me that in rehab. Imagine.
Yeah, that's so
one
cool.
of my rehabs.
One of my she collects big books.
I collect them. Yeah.
So what's actually really cool and interesting about the stories is the reason that these stories change is it's because it is supposed to be a cross section of the current community in Alcoholics Anonymous.
Okay.
So those get replaced in every edition, and you can if you read the preface or the forwards, if you read the forwards in the big book, it will tell you exactly how many stories were taken out and how many new ones were put in. But
because the originals stay, right? Because we hear about Bill P. We see him in the new book in the 4th edition. He's still in the 4th edition.
Yep, he is. And
Bill's story, right? It's Bill's story.
No, Bill P. The
Bill P.
member.
And then you have Dr. Bob's Nightmare is still in there,
right?
And then you had they actually changed the name of one of the stories, which it used to be Dr. Alcoholic Addict. And now it's the story's name is Acceptance is the Answer. So that used to be Dr. Alcoholic Addict. And they literally pitched a fit because, some alcoholics, only a few, are very rigid. And they didn't want drug addicts in AA. So they changed the name to reflect that. What was Max? Max was his wife. But anyway, he was just an alcoholic who took a lot of drugs. He wasn't an addict. He just took morphine and shit.
So the big book was always this big, always like 500 and some pages, 500 and whatever pages.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Did it come with a free Friends in Recovery t-shirt when you ordered the fucking book?
No, it didn't. And that's, everybody gets better with age, right?
That's right. Exactly. Just kidding, guys. But yeah, I mean, so what version are we on now of the big book?
The 4th,
I am not a big book.
We're out with the 5th. We're on the 4th now, but the 5th is in the process.
Is it really?
Yeah, they already asked for stories. They closed it like a couple months ago for new stories. You could put your story in.
Really? So I could be in the big book?
You
now you
got to wait for the 6th edition to.
I know. So let's see. The 4th edition I think came out in 95?
Something like that. It was way back then. Yeah. So
I remember So I got sober during the 3rd edition. Oh my God, I've lived through an entire edition of the Big Book.
Wow.
Not okay with that.
I'm not okay with that.
I'm assuming it's going to come out in 2025.
Well, here it says Alcoholics Anonymous 2001. What is this? How many thousands of men? 4th edition. All right. This is the 4th edition.
Yeah.
It's 2001.
It came out in 2001?
That's what it's saying here. 2001.
It was a long time ago.
That is still a long time ago.
Alcoholic then. So.
Is it every 25 years? Well, I guess that makes sense that every 25 years.
Yeah.
Carl Asif has cuss words.
Only his book has cuss words.
Only your book. Are you going to, Carl, you can rewrite the Big Book with cuss words in it, Carl. Right? Would that be a good idea?
Yeah, not curse words.
No, cuss words. Because that's what they say in California. That's what they say in Soberpod. But anyways, okay, Beth.
This says that it came out December 4th, 2013. No, that can't be right.
The fourth edition, 2001.
It was 2001.
Yeah.
So 9/11.
Yes.
Same year as 9/11. Same year I got married.
Yeah. Forward, 4th edition, 2001. What it says.
That's the year I got married.
Those are reprint dates, Carl says. That's what I thought. Maybe
are they?
Those, yeah.
All right. So, Carl, then when did the Big Book come out? 4th edition, 2001.
Yeah, don't leave us hanging, Carl.
Come on, Carl. Let's speak. If anybody's wondering why we're talking to Carl, it's because he's
on Facebook Live. We're really not crazy.
We have imaginary friends named Carl.
Copyright. Okay, here we go. Copyright 1939. We know 1955 because that's when they introduced the 12 and 12.
Yep.
1976
and 2001.
2001.
Yeah. 2001. Yeah. See, Carl, 2001.
You were right, Carl.
2001.
I was right.
What?
I said 2001.
I didn't hear you say that.
You agreed.
No, I don't think he said that either.
I think that was Carl.
Carl's right. Okay, Carl's right.
Carl.
Oh my God. Well, 2001.
So the 5th edition of the Big Book is in the works. I bet you any amount of money it's going to be 2025.
Yeah. I bet you so. So, Bambi, you just got done. Well, you guys are almost done reading the Big Book. You and Matt on Sunday nights on our Friends Recovery meeting, Sunday night Big Book study. What I mean, are some of the stories relevant, or do they make sense now?
Absolutely. Oh my God, it's my favorite thing is to read the Big Book, and I'm so glad that we have a meeting that we actually all read it together, and you get to hear everyone's opinion. But the stories are. Of course, you can relate. I mean, I find something in all of them, It doesn't matter. I can find something that I relate to in every story, and it makes me feel more normal, you know? I mean, to read that Big Book kind of makes you feel like, wow, if this was happening to people back in 1930s, 1940s, I'm not so bad, Yeah, I did all that stuff, but people have been doing it for years. I feel more normal.
You're not so special, right?
Yeah, I'm not so special.
Like one of our hosts, Skylar, would say, you're not so special.
Right.
You're not unique, right? No, we're not unique.
Well, isn't that what Carl's day was today? You're replaceable. You're not special.
That's right. You're not special.
You're not that important.
Yeah. We want to know where the masturbating page is, Carl. I'm trying to get us kicked off, guys.
I can tell.
Beth is
like harder to do the notes for Carl.
Yeah, I know. Beth, where's your background? Is that your face or is that your? Oh my God!
I'm trying to find the stories from the 3rd edition because I don't have a 3rd edition in the house right now. But there was a story. Oh, there's a list. Hold on. That one that really grabbed me. I remember I was homeless when I got sober. And I'm trying to look. Part 3. Is this the 3rd edition? Anyway, I don't know.
All right, we'll figure it out.
And Carl, you're coming to a board meeting.
Board meeting.
Carl wants to know what he's doing at 7:30 tonight.
Oh. Stay tuned for all the inside information that you'd want to hear. If any other board meeting want to come on, we'll just explain everything to everybody.
Just
Listeners,
send an email. You too can be on the board.
That's right. If you have an idea, you can be on the board. No, but so the books, the book is, again, I'm more like we were talking earlier. I'm more of a 12 and 12 guy. And, that's why we did 12 steps and 12 traditions last year. Yeah. And that was good. I don't know. Maybe should we read the big book this year? Can we start reading it? No, I'm kidding.
Maybe next year. We'll see if we take that on next year.
We'll talk about the next year, but yeah, exactly. Well, if we don't get any donations, guys, there's not going to be a next year. Shameless plug to get some donations.
Wow, that was good.
I like that.
This lovely shirt.
That's right. If you too want to get a lovely shirt and keep listening to this podcast, make a donation. There you go. So we can hear the big book study. We should do a big book study on here. Right?
Well, we are this whole month.
Oh, okay.
Big book month, Ed.
Big book month, guys.
And we have some. Listen to those first stories. I'm telling you, and you think back that like when it goes through like Bill P. and you see these are our original members. It is so cool to me, when we read their stories and think, what would we be right now if Bill and Bob hadn't got a third person and a fourth person? And so I mean, I love those stories, and so, they were the real hopeless variety, what I mean, originally, and to think that, I mean, it just amazes me. I love.
So is there standard stories that stay in? Again, I'm not a big book guy, but is there standard stories that stay in the big book? Like at Bill's story, there's a solution, more about alcoholism.
Those are all chapters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill's story stays in. Dr. Addict Alcoholic is still there. Dr. Bob's Nightmare is still there. AA number 3 is still there.
Yeah, because when they opened the Chicago, that one is still there. When they went to Chicago, the one with the first woman, that one is still there.
Women Suffer Too, Our Southern Friend, The Vicious Cycle, Jim's Story, Man Who Mastered Fear, and Keys to the Kingdom are all from the 3rd to the 4th. And I think because those were all pioneers of AA.
The Vicious Cycle. Okay, I see all that. Yeah. Okay. Women Suffer. I mean, again, it's there's a lot of good information in this book, and I can see why these stories are, especially way back when, why these were important, because if stuff was going back and forth from Ohio to New York and there's no email, phone, well, maybe phones, but how can you identify with somebody? Now there's a story in here. Oh my God, this story is what I did, right? Yep. This is exactly what I did. And this is nobody famous writing this book. This is just some schlub from Hoboken, New Jersey that almost died, and he's saved because of this fucking program, Yep. And I get that. But it's a little different today, I guess, right? I mean, do you think the big book is as much in demand as it was, say, I don't know, before all the computers, say 40 years ago, 30 years ago? I mean,
yes.
Do you think so?
Well, I think more.
Why do you say that?
Because we're bigger. We keep growing, and people realize how well this program works when other programs don't work. And, so I think that, and it's not, the stigma is going away too. Mm-hmm. So it's okay to have a big book now. And so it's okay to wear a shirt that says sober life, when it didn't used to be okay to do that, and people, they didn't want to have a big book in their house because what if someone sees it? Yeah. So now it's like we don't have that stigma. So I think it's way more in demand now than it used to be.
Yeah.
I think too that the big book is like, it's the original, like it is the program of recovery. It's the big book. Mm-hmm. In the fellowship is wonderful, but if you're going to work the 12 steps the way that the original, like 100 worked it, that the original program, the actual program, then you actually need the instruction manual, which is the first 164 pages. So it's like, also, I think that I think this needs to be said, because I think all of us are from Gen X, is that up until we started raising kids, our generation started raising kids, you didn't talk about having problems at all.
No.
You didn't tell anybody that you had a problem. So coming to a culture or society, a microculture, whatever you want to call it, it was necessary in order to find common ground and to have a place to get honest about who you were and who you are. And I think that it speaks volumes, and I'm so proud of the younger generations that we've got smart recovery, we've got refuge recovery. There are multiple modes of recovery because of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I tried them all. They didn't work.
They didn't work. No, they don't. Yeah. Well,
I tried them all, trying not to admit I was an alcoholic. I'm not standing in that damn room and saying I'm an alcoholic in front of all these people.
But it does work for some people. There are other programs that do work for some people
That's
too.
why I mean,
for all three of us on here, I can honestly say that's what works for us. I wouldn't do it any other way. Nope. Like Bambi, I did try it different ways, and it just didn't work for me, and here it is 29 years later.
Yeah.
I'm here,
But think about it. Like, isn't that insane that this whole revolution of like long-term recovery, I'm a person in long-term recovery, like how far we have come that we still maintain our anonymity at the, at most levels. Which I guess I understand why some people would have an issue with the podcast that we're all sitting here openly saying we're in AA, but but
it's different. It's different now. It's different times.
Yeah, because I grew up, you don't air your dirty laundry. That was literally said to us growing up. You don't air your dirty laundry.
Well, no, I think Beth is talking about the traditions, right?
The tradition of anonymity, right?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, yes, we are breaking the anonymity by admitting on film and in public that we are in Alcoholics Anonymous. And I understand why that is, like, they don't want you to do that. Like, I get it. But my friend Chris, who I always go to him for tradition stuff, he said, we have more right to break the traditions than anybody does to uphold them in the world of AA. So, but I don't know. But I don't know. I can't believe that. How old is AA now? 88, 89?
89. I think this year, 35 from, 30, whatever, 35 minus.
I don't know.
89.
Is it? I don't know. Well, anyway.
One of our listeners will tell us.
Like,
if my phone works.
Yeah.
Carl's still on. He'll tell us.
Yeah.
Carl,
Someone
come on.
Subtract 23 from 35.
88.
So AA is 88 years ago. Like, Bill Wilson walked into a hotel during a business trip and he wanted to drink. And instead of drinking, I actually calculated it. I think it's like something like $10 equivalent, the money that he put into a payphone looking for somebody to talk to.
Oh my God.
In that hotel, there was the Mayflower. I don't know if I know. And he literally was standing. It was like the bar was on one side and the phone booth with the church directory was on the other side. And God's grace stepped in and he didn't go into the bar. It was the last church on the list. And I think it was Sister Ignatia or something like that.
Yeah.
Got him in touch with Mrs. Smith. And Dr. Bob said, I'll give him 15 minutes or 5 minutes or something crazy like that. And like 4 hours later, they were still talking. Like,
God.
That is multiplied into the life that we live now.
It's amazing.
Yeah. But think about it. Two drunks. Like, when I was drinking, there's no way I'm coming up with a book, number one, let alone even in early sobriety. Like, I have to have this book and these steps to guide me through all that. These guys invented it.
Yeah.
They started all this stuff. I mean, think of the drive that they had to have. Think of the passion, what they wanted to do for just helping other human beings. I don't know if they realized that that's what they were going to do. They probably were down and out, didn't want to be where they were at, but they wrote this book at the time. Do you think they would even think that this book would be where it's at today?
No, I don't think.
Right? No,
I mean, I don't think
so.
I think Bill was the sales guy.
Yeah, that's
true.
Bill
was kind of a dirtbag. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Bill had big ego. He really did.
He really did. He was the ego. But like I always think of like me and my best friend, we're polar opposites of each other, but it works perfectly. Like, and I think that's how him and Bob were. I think Bill and Bob, like he was the outgoing, outsourcing, outstretching, getting the word out there. And Dr. Bob was the grounding, staying with God, being in the moment. The four absolutes, aren't the four absolutes like on his tombstone? I'm pretty
think
sure
so.
they are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there is this give and take, this yin yang kind of thing that made it work. Maybe Bill thought it was going to be like this, but Dr. Bob, I bet I got to tell you, man, do you know that even for all of Bill's ego and for all of Bill's, shortcomings till the day he died, he never recovered financially, and he could have.
Really?
He could have sold AA out. He could have made money, and he didn't. Wow. And so, I talk a lot. Like when I talk about Bill, I don't have like a super awesome opinion of Bill Wilson as a human being. You know what I mean? He's such a drunk, but the reality is there was a level of humility there that was the precise ingredients needed for long-term recovery.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, think about it. And I don't know if this is the right word, but he sacrificed his life for us. And I don't want to compare that to Jesus or the Bible or anything, but that's what he had to do to get the rest of the world to understand this. And if that's the ego or whatever it was, but he also taught us in there not to have that ego, not to do what he did. Yeah. You know what I mean? Again, I could be wrong, but that's kind of how, and I've heard the same thing, that he was kind of loved the spotlight, loved to beat his chest about AA, which I probably would too, if I invented something like this. Right. But, but if he didn't do that, we wouldn't have this podcast today. We wouldn't have the big book. If they said, oh, all right, let's just help us to get sober. And, if anybody wants to join in, well, how many little clubs think about this. How many little clubs, just, poker clubs, or I don't know, knitting clubs, just stay in the neighborhood, right? You get together on a Friday night and you're crocheting or whatever the fuck you do. Right. And it goes nowhere. Right. And these people are probably successful people, whatever they do, right? Probably nice houses, whatever. But Bill and Bob are drunks. And look at where it's at today. There's hundreds and thousands of podcasts about this, right? That, and because it was, I don't know, because it was supposed to be. That's why. Right. Nothing else, because it was supposed to be. And however it got there, and I think we were sharing on our meeting last night, the Emmett Fox, the big book study we were talking about. And I think it was one of the last, the Beatitudes. And I think, it was basically talking about, and again, I'm not comparing Bob and Bill to Jesus, but it does have that kind of similar like background. Jesus had to die on the cross. Had to, no other reason. He had to. He, like they said in the last the Beatitude, Jesus could have saved himself. He could have said, I see you later. Anytime, you ain't nailing me to no cross, right? He could have said all that, but he didn't. And they even gave him a last chance before they kind of pierced him with the sword at the before he died, to save himself, and he wouldn't. And
really?
And yeah,
they taunted him, right? They said, if you're who you say you are, why don't you save yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't.
Nope.
And he didn't.
Obviously,
and that's when they pierced him. Like they challenged his ego.
On the cross.
He didn't. Oh my God.
Yeah. But it even goes back before that with the crown of thorns.
Yeah.
They put the crown of thorns on his head because they made fun of him. Save yourself.
If
you're the king. If you're the king, save yourself. And he didn't. So, again, it's not comparing, but it's very similar. Bill and Bob probably gave up a lot of their lives to save a lot of people's lives. They were famous. They were recognized all over the, in the AA world anyways. They did a lot, it's the life they chose, of course, but they could have kept it quiet. They could have stayed sober amongst each other and just lived a good, clean life, but they decided to bring it out to where we're blessed with it today. So anyways,
Bill Wilson is one of the Times 100 most influential people.
Oh yeah. Hands. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, easily, I would say. Yeah.
I mean, I remember getting the magazine when he was in it, and it was just They were very respectful about anonymity and
Time magazines.
Time
magazine.
magazine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And they were super respectful about anonymity, and they didn't say Bill Wilson. They said Bill W. And they took it to an nth degree. And I remember reading that and just appreciating it. And I think now, years and years later, like he really did. They did have a permanent influence in this country.
Oh yeah.
I've never met an American who doesn't know what AA is.
No. Well, take that back 20, 30 years ago in a little different world then. But like you said, it's definitely, everybody knows it's like hip to be sober now. If you think about it, like sober is the buzzword now. I mean, even in Hollywood, everybody, people in Hollywood are coming out. I mean, we didn't know way back when that who was sober way back when. Was it Clark Gable? No, not Clark Gable. There was somebody way back when that was sober. We never knew about it. You know what I mean? They weren't broadcasting it way back when, but it's cool now to be sober, I don't know if that's good or bad, but
I heard a rumor that one of our presidents was sober.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's true. I think it's definitely true.
Oh, I think it's true too, but I don't, it's a rumor to me because wasn't told directly.
Yeah. So
technically it's a rumor, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't you go down to Texas and ask them? Anyways, ladies. Well, I think we were able to. We nailed it, guys. We nailed it, and we can go on and on and on more and more about it. But the big book is a staple in our community. Is the Bible of our program. It really is. Think about it. The first 164 pages were not ever changed, never changed.
And never will
once in 88 years, right?
Yep. It takes 75% of population of Alcoholics Anonymous to vote in unanimous to 75%.
Wow.
To make
to change anything in the first 100. And the only thing I think Bill and Bob said that they would change, what was it that they said they would change? It was one word in the it was in how, I believe it was in How It Works. Anyways, I can't remember. They said that they would change like an and to an a, or something very insignificant, right? Very insignificant, but that would change a couple. People about getting sober, about hold on. Anyways, I don't know, whatever it is. Write us an email if anybody knows what that is. I thought maybe you would know, Beth. There is one part that they said if they had to make a change, it would be this small thing that they would change as far as whatever. So the only thing I would change, and I get now, when I decided that I would change this, it's only a couple of words that I would change, but it would fundamentally change the way that people viewed working with others. Is in the 12th step, it says, continue to carry this message to other alcoholics, to practice these principles in all our affairs. In the original manuscript, the step was, continue to what was it? Having had a spiritual awakening, we continued to, what is the word? Carry this message to others, especially alcoholics. It would change the way that people would not get stuck in AA. So especially to alcoholics, you're saying? Is that what they said? Yeah, like I only have to help alcoholics. Like it changes the whole mindset.
It changes And Ed, in the 1970 General Service Conference, when they asked Bill if there was anything you would change in the big book, he said that he would change the word rarely to never.
That's it.
Chapter 5.
That is it.
Never have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path.
Yes. I know exactly. It was like one word, kind of word that would just, and it's true. If you follow this program to a T, you're not going to fail. You're just not.
I don't know if I buy that.
Why?
I don't think that this is the only mode of recovery that's valid.
And this is what we're talking about.
But I think that the way that this program was written has been modified through practice for women and for people of color. But, and I think that I think it's Into Action or more about alcoholism, where it says we're cross sections and everybody is like, like all walks of life are represented. Like that was a dream, because when AA started, it was white middle class men.
Yeah, that's true.
With one woman who was 13 steps.
Well, she was probably wearing a bikini. And she was.
She was.
I'm just kidding, guys.
She was an intern.
Intern, you figure, his interns running around.
She was Bill's damn intern. That's it.
I think that saying rarely is fair. Saying never is giving a false hope. There are some people that are never going to get sober.
But if they follow the program,
there are those unfortunates, right?
There are those unfortunates.
They fall into that category.
That's true. Yeah.
So there can never be. It can, fatalistic. Never and always. Yeah.
Well, and it's tough. I mean, that's the word that they said they would change. Should they? Well, obviously they shouldn't, because they didn't. And here it is, and rare, but it's true. It's rarely, it is rarely that we see a person fail who thoroughly followed our program. And, I see it all the time. If you're not following the suggestions, and then I'm not talking about the business that we're in, Beth, I'm talking about the rooms. We see it on our meetings, Bambi, and if get them sponsored, come to meetings, blah blah blah. And once they don't do that, we hear, and like any room you hear, they went back out, they're not doing good, blah blah blah, whatever it is, because they didn't follow what we suggested.
But then the word sponsor is never mentioned.
Nope.
That is right. 100%. Its word sponsor is not mentioned in the big book, right? At all. The first 164 pages.
Yep.
They make a reference to it, I believe, somewhere. Protege, yes.
Protege.
Yes,
so that's your sponsee, right? Your protege is your sponsee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So there you go. So, but you know what? Like anything evolves. It just keeps growing, growing, and growing. And we're looking at it all different ways. We're looking at it from a professional way now in the business that we're in. We're looking at it from different angles of like you said, meetings types. There's Dharma recovery. There's NA. There's, you name it. There's all kinds of recovery in it. And I want to go back to one thing before we close here, what you were saying, Beth, about the first 164 pages. I think when Bill and Bob wrote this book, or when Bill wrote this book, I don't think he discriminated against women, minorities and everything. I think that was put in there, right?
Yeah. There was nothing. I've scoured that book at least 100 times. Mm-hmm. There's nothing in that book that is, in my opinion, racist or sexist or ageist or anything. It's the culture.
Yeah.
It's the culture. Like,
it applies to every human being on this earth.
100%. Yeah. And you'll definitely see more people of color probably in AA up north than you would in the South. You'll see more people of color in NA than you will in AA, right? Mm-hmm. But this is cultural. It's not the book. You can scour that 164 pages and you will not find.
Never.
And if you do, call me, because I'd like to have a conversation about it.
That's right.
Because I really did. I scoured that book, and there is nothing in that book that is judgmental on anyone.
Nope, absolutely not. Not even towards us as alcoholics and addicts. Not even resentments against anybody. There's nothing in there. It isn't, like you said, and we'll close with this at the beginning. We'll bring it back. You said it's an instruction booklet that was mailed out to people to stay sober through the mail. That's what it was about, and it's an instruction book that you find in anything, you how to put your workbench together or your TV together, whatever it is. So they had to make it pretty clean, I guess, not clean, but, pretty accessible for everybody, because Bill and Bob were not like that. They were definitely not like, everybody deserves a chance. Everybody. And if it's 2 chances, 3 chances, we never give up. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. Not that you have to stop drinking, desire to stop drinking.
Yep. An honest desire.
Right. They didn't even discriminate against
if you people who are still using drinking, you could still come.
Come on,
Yep.
So just some really good stuff. Thank you, ladies, for some great information and really examining our big book and how our program runs, and what it runs on is this wonderful book that's written for all of us to stay sober. And if you're like me, you haven't read it, please take advantage of it, because there is so much good information in there. I'm going to pick it up a little bit more because it is Big Book Month. I shouldn't be doing that just because it's Big Book Month, but hey, you got to start somewhere, right? Why not start here? And I've been in and out of the 164 pages that, that's kind of a go-to, but the stories are just, I don't know. But now I understand it, Beth. You made it a little bit clearer to me why those stories are in there.
There's actually, we keep going on and on and on.
I know.
There are two places in the first 164 pages that tells you why the stories are there.
Really?
Yep. The stories are in the big book to show you how each of our members found God.
Wow.
How
the
they
G
came
word.
to believe. Yep. How they found and got their relationship with a higher power. That was the original reason why they put the stories in there. And it's in, if I can find it by next week, I'll find what page. I don't know what page it's on. I can just keep reading it. But yeah, that's it says at two different places in the book that's why the stories are in the back.
Wow. Okay, good. Well, in the meantime, if you guys can find those pages, send us an email on where they're at, or give us a call.
And if they need a big book, if anyone needs a big book, we will send it to you.
Please.
Just send us an email and we will get a big book out to you.
Absolutely. We'd be more than happy to do that, because we are your friends in recovery, folks. No, but seriously, please, send that out, and give us an email and we'll get you out a big book. It is Big Book Month, so stay tuned for another great show next week where we're probably going to have a guest, right? Talking about a big book, about the big book.
Amy is our guest next week.
Amy, that's right. Okay. We'll get Amy to talk about the big book. Who's Amy?
She's your friend.
Oh, my friend. Yes, Amy. Oh, yes. Oh my God. Yes, Amy.
We really need an intern to help keep that straight.
We need an intern.
I can't keep up with him anymore.
Oh my God!
Tell him
please,
what background to use. Who his friends
intern,
are.
please. I know you would save Bambi's life if you were our intern. So, anyways, ladies, thank you for a great show, and stay sober, everybody.
This concludes this episode of Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast. Follow us on Facebook for past shows and updates, and enjoy free access to twice daily support meetings. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.